Hey there everybody! The new Black Adam film is out. Of course, by the time I get this video edited, it will probably have been out for about 3 weeks. But I thought it would be fun to take a look at the SpinMaster 1/18 scale action figures based on that movie. So let's bring...
Little thunder?
Stop it.
Little lightning? Stop.
And check those figures out.
These lenses, I can turn the inside of this mountain into hot, molten rock. No one, not even Captain Marvel, can survive that. Shazam!
So I was planning on doing a video about some random items that I picked up just from various places while out shopping. One of those items being the SpinMaster Black Adam action figure. But then I thought it might be more fun to do a video that focuses just on those figures by themselves, because I do like the character of Black Adam and I am a Justice Society fan. Let me first start off by saying, however, try as I might, no matter where I look, I cannot locate the single-carded Dr. Fate or Cyclone. Cyclone, not as big of a deal to me because I like the character, but they're not one of my favorites. Dr. Fate has always been one of my favorite DC characters, and I was really looking forward to adding that 1/18 scale SpinMaster figure to my collection, but I cannot find it anywhere just on its own. So I went ahead and broke down and bought this lovely Black Adam and the Justice Society collected set. Unfortunately, the only place I could find it was on Amazon, so yeah, I ordered it from there. So we're gonna crack that open and take a look at the figures inside. It comes with all of the Justice Society members featured in the film and Black Adam on this golden throne. Although I just saw the movie last night. Last night at the time of this filming would have been Thursday night at a very, very late showing on the 20th. And yeah, I don't recall any golden throne being showcased in the film. A throne made of stone, yes. A throne made of gold, not so much. Not that I recall. Anyway, you might notice on the box art the figures don't seem to have any of their accessories. Now I'm hoping that maybe they're squirreled away somewhere in there inside the box, but I don't think we're going to get that lucky. So I do believe if you want the accessories that come with the figures, you're going to have to try and find the single carded ones. Black Adam obviously is a lot easier to find. He is the title character. Seems like they pumped out a lot more of those. You can find a decent amount of Hawkman figures and a few Atom Smashers, but like I said, good luck finding a Dr. Fate. As much as I want him, I'm not willing to pay 2 or 3 times as much off of eBay, which is the only place I've seen him available to purchase. I don't see him on Target's website or Walmart or any site other than eBay. But as I mentioned, I'm guessing if you want the accessories that come with each figure, like the axe and the mace and all that stuff, and the lightning effects and these odd Atom Smasher accoutrements.
Well, ooh la dee da, Mr. Frenchman.
Atomic Punch accessories that I don't think ever featured in the film at all. Yeah, you'll have to buy the single carded figures. At least that's my guess. Yeah, if I had read the back of the box a little more closely, I would have seen that it says 5 figures and 1 throne as the contents of the box.
Reading is fundamental.
Yeah, I guess that rules out any weapons or accessories. that I might have been hoping for. Okay, let's go ahead and open it up.
Your father defied fate to save you.
You got a problem with that?
He made a mistake.
Okay, just a little piece of tape on the bottom, holding this flap in place, then you fold it up or lift it up. So yeah, then that central piece just lifts right out of there. And as you can see, the figures are just kind of twist tied in there. I see what one reviewer on Amazon was talking about when they said that Black Adam is the only one that's in the true 4-inch scale. The rest are noticeably smaller. Looks like Dr. Fate's cape is nice and mangled, so that's great. I just can't win. And here they are, fresh out of the box. Black Adam and the Justice Society. I believe this is only SpinMaster's second attempt at making the slightly more realistic figures, as they did with the Batman action figures. And I would say, for the most part, not too bad. First up, we have Black Adam himself. Is that a good likeness of The Rock? It's okay. There have been several action figures made of The Rock, even outside of the wrestling figures, that were, had varying degrees of success. As you can tell by looking, some of the finer details of the costume are not present in this version, but that's kind of understandable considering the scale. The cape is a cloth cape. It's a little bit flimsy, and because of how it was packaged, it's in a little bit of rough shape. But yeah, it's a good design. It does what it needs to. Of course, some elbow articulation, some shoulder movement there, up and down, side to side, all that good stuff. Hip rotation is a little weird on this one. I'm not sure if you can do a straight upward kick. Yeah, the way that's put in there is very strange. I'm a little afraid to try and force it because I'm afraid I'll snap it right off. So yeah, that design could be a little bit better. Single joint at the knee. I think you can get some decent poses out of this, but yeah, some of the articulation could be a little bit better actualized, better realized. But for an action figure that is 1/18 scale and will cost you around $7, it's good for what it is. Moving on to Hawkman. Like I mentioned, no accessories weapon-wise. You do have these 2 slots on the back to accommodate for the wings. Maybe putting them on wrong. Slide right in. A little bit of a click there. Unfortunately, based on the way they are structured, you're not going to get any movement out of those wings, but they look cool, and they help him stand up. That's another problem I was having with these figures, is getting them to stand up. Shoulder pads hindering some of that upward arm movement. And as with a lot of thinner, smaller action figure arms, I'm afraid to bend a lot of the joints because I'm afraid I'm going to snap them. So yeah, maybe the hair dryer treatment or the warm water treatment to loosen up some of those joints might be beneficial for you, especially if you're giving these to your kids, because yeah, going to be a lot of unhappy youngsters if these limbs start snapping off. One problem I have with the design of this figure, the costume design, it looks just a little bit too bland and flat in this smaller scale. Then moving on to Dr. Fate, could pass for the movie version, or even almost pass for a comic book version. Kind of somewhere in between. No, these figures don't have any ab crunch or abdominal articulation. I mentioned something about Black Adam's cape being kind of flimsy. It's nothing compared to how flimsy this cape is. It feels almost just like a piece of paper. And yeah, definitely by the way it was packaged, it's pretty mangled. I'm gonna have to find a way to try and straighten that out. So if you get the box set version, beware of that. One other thing to look out for. Next up we have Cyclone. This one is almost impossible to get to stand up. Her legs are so thin, and that little skirt kind of gets in the way of adjusting for that. I'm sure if I loosen the joints I can probably work around some of that. Yeah, I definitely don't want to bend her joints too much because she is very... her arms and legs are very thin, and I will snap them like a twig. So yeah, definitely going to have to try and loosen those up by other means. The likeness is pretty good. I mean, you know, at this, as good as it can be at this scale, but it's not bad. Some nice shading in the hair. It's a nice little touch. So yeah, that's cool. And then finally, Atom Smasher. Noah Centineo, I think I'm saying that right, who was supposed to play He-Man at one point. He's got another costume that could very well pass for the comic book version. Yep, no problem raising the arms. And on this figure, his legs seem a little bit more freed up for kicking and such because of the basicness of the costume. And I mean that in a good way. For this one, you might have to spring for that Titan series or McFarlane series to accommodate for that power set of increased size and mass. We'll take a look at the throne. Just mostly one hunk of plastic. It's okay. It's an okay accessory. So yeah, there are the figures that are included in the box set. Pretty cool. There is also Hawk Wing, Hawk Plane, Hawk Jet, whatever it is. Playset that comes with Hawkman and Black Adam, but I wasn't terribly impressed by the looks of it. I've only seen it online, unfortunately. The vehicle looks pretty cool in the movie, but not so much in the plastic form. I do wish I had picked up the Intergang hover bike or jet bike. That was very cool looking, and I really like the design of the Intergang mercenary that came with it. That was cool. I might go pick some of those up. I have a bad feeling a lot of these figures will end up on the discount shelf, but if they do, I might get myself a small fleet of Intergang jet bikes. So far, those appear to be the only villain characters in this line. I believe the McFarlane Toys has Sabak, and I would like to see that character in this line, but I'm guessing that probably won't happen since this line does appear to be aimed more at kids, although there's a whole lot of murder in the Black Adam movie, so I don't know how you're aiming any of these at kids. I imagine a lot of parents wouldn't want to be picking that particular figure up with that particular design. That I can understand that. And here is Black Adam next to the Robert Pattinson The Batman action figure. The Batman looks a little bit larger than him, so that means he's gonna dwarf, Batman's gonna dwarf Dr. Fate and other characters. Yeah. That doesn't quite work. And here is Black Adam next to, I believe, the original Infinite Heroes version of the character. And here he is with the second version of the Infinite Heroes Black Adam. And here he is next to Man of Steel action figures, which I know the moment is past, but I would like to see. I would have liked to have seen their more realistic styled versions of the Justice League. They might get some opportunity with that with the second Aquaman film, but I still would like to see the entire League in this sort of style, slightly more realistic style. We might end up getting Captain Marvel, or Shazam I should say, figures like this, which will be cool, but I'd still like to see Justice League, Superman, and Wonder Woman, and all the rest in this particular style. Maybe someday, who knows. Yeah, these figures definitely have their problems. They definitely aren't perfect.
Definitely.
For a $7 action figure in this scale, I still think they're pretty good. And I think they're pretty good for SpinMaster's second attempt at the more realistic movie style figures. I guess another complaint I might have is the distribution. Why are there so few Fates and Cyclones? That's kind of annoying from a collector standpoint. So maybe some improvements could be made on that. And hopefully they'll branch out, like I said, and bring us more figures in this style featuring other DC characters. That would be great. So as I often say, or often ask, is this a line that interests you? What are your thoughts on it? Pick or pass? Let me know if you're so inclined in the comments section. Like and subscribe if you want to. As always, thank you very, very much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here. Thanks a bunch. And until next time, I will see ya.